Well, well, well. So, another day, another prompt. We have arrived to deal. I think like the last ones are little by little looking having funnier and funnier ideas. I'm not so much concerned at this moment about how I should draw, so it's being very liberating in a way. Oh, I forgot how to spit. Today is deal, and with deal, I wanted to do like the deal from how should I say? There's the fact that you spit on your hand and you close a deal. That's what my objective is for today. If I can get it in 2 hours so I can catch up the pace, that would be great. If I can't, that's how it goes. So starting with I think I should be making it a lot more sensible. Okay. Starting with okay, put the angle. So here I want like a this face close to the camera. I would need a little bit of distortion. So I think I'm gonna try and box it out outside and then put it here. Here comes a spit. This spit goes on a palm here. But okay, I've discovered something new. I want to frame it in a funnier way. So like something like this. Brother, my CPU is not catching up. I'll start to need to so either I put it here or here. The guy that reacts with disgust to the spit on the hand. I think it's funnier if it's in between the spit. That's maximum funny that I can think of. I could even make him higher. There's this froth, and then the spit gets like a little trajectory. This is the eye. So it would be like, yeah, that sounds nice. I can see myself spitting up out. You know, it would be more. I don't know. Let's see how Mozi you spit and shake. I haven't dealt that kind of puff. To be 100% obvious. Ciao ma, buon lavoro. Spit shake. Then again, why am I being concerned of what it should look like? I should be concerned is to be able to actually reproduce this shit. So yeah, this is the blocked out. I think that's nice. So I would start with either going to be the hand or this face. I think I'm starting with the face. I need to get right the angle, but at the same time, when you spit, there's going to be some curvature. Okay, I've got some nice reference. It's making me a little sick to watch a spit. So shit is going exactly as intended, but I wasn't the target, so yay, yikes. Okay, I don't think I quite need that, but okay, so if the camera, like, do I put some distortion to the camera? So let's say that this would be recorded at this height. And so if this is the height on which I record, like somewhat, actually it is from the chin. Hello, Prokimaro. Welcome here. Let's figure out day 18. Dude, I didn't fix the title. Never gonna get good at streaming. Actually, we're on date 18. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Very tired, but very pumped. How about you, man? Trying to figure out how to get some interesting perspective going on over here, because this angle is kind of weird. Like, by pure logic, I should be distorting it. Say, if I want it to be distorted, if the camera is on the chin, it should look like that, right? So this is the part where I see. This is how. Oh, this is not a good box. Pretty tired as well. Put on all night doing some drawing, and now it's too late to go to sleep. Dude. Terrifying. Yeah, I haven't put a lot of sleep. I haven't lost a lot of sleep in one night, but the last 4 or 5 nights have been adding up. I was always trying to be disciplined. So like, yeah, I it was I go late, wake up, start the Inktober, and start again. This year I got very pumped with the Inktober. So it's starting to add up. Hopefully tonight get those sweet 7 hours. What you been working on Inktober, or like you do commissions or stuff? I think it's not distorted enough. Say that this is a vanishing point. Yeah, would be like a little more extreme. Fucking boxes, man. Just some drawing for the sake of it. Well, man, you are a great one. Very in love with drawing. I have passed a long time so when actually I dreaded drawing. It was a reality very recent event when I started to draw for the sake of it. And so far I've been loving it. I haven't put no all-nighters, but like I think Saturday was the day I'm measuring in fine art, so I kind of have to keep myself in the loop. Makes sense. I can respect that. Wish I did when I was in college. I graduated from computer science, but it at the time I wasn't really invested. So I started to get more acquainted later on, which in my mind is it's a little mistake. You're doing great to keep up the project and love. Not because I wasn't passionate about anything. So when I went to college, it was more like my mom wanted me to get a degree. So it's like, yeah, let's get a degree, make some money. At least it used to be that way. Hope, certainly, I have a job now, so everything worked out great. So I have some exhibition like thing at school tomorrow, so I'm making some more stuff so I can add more to it. Oh, that's so cool. A friend of mine did that. It's actually very nice. I don't know if does that open even some doors. Like, can somebody, I don't know, give you, approach you, or give you some opportunity to have a good exhibition? I would imagine that even some people who searching for talent would be there. Like to my graduation, there were people who actually approached me, was like, hey, here's the card, do you want to work? Like, of course I want to work, man. What do you mean I don't want to work? Now they did approach me, and then we weren't able to actually get anything done because I called them and they didn't answer. But that's how it goes sometimes, I think. Oh, I'm exhibition from the time, but these things on like school assignment and actual exhibition. Oh, okay. So this is like the project stuff, like a mock-up. We did some stuff similar to that. So when there was some external people that showed up, and we made like a mock-up for what an actual project working on an actual project would look like. It was absolutely a nightmare. Then I started working, and it is so much worse. It was actually hilarious that in retrospect I was like, was I worried about that project? It's so much more balls in the work stuff. But I think it depends a lot. Like when you get a good grasp of what working entails, on some doing enjoyment by doing masters. Yeah, keep it up. If it's like not very expensive, have the time of your life. It doesn't get. I would say it was terrifying for me the job for the first couple of years, but now enjoyment is maybe not the most accurate term. I'm European. We don't pay for school. Well, me too. I'm from Italy, so mm, personally, I was paying even less than most people. But I think that the worst that you can go, unless it's does branded school like Bocconi, which might be from where, unless you're going to some branded school, it's like 2K a year, 2.5, not something like $100 a month. That's more than suitable. I paid like $100 a year, so it was great stuff. In Europe, it's actually very worth it. At the end of the day, even if it sucks, like what you gonna do? You lost a couple of hundreds. I actually enrolled in masters, but I quit very quickly because as programming goes, I wouldn't say private schools are usually super cringe, and most people who don't get accepted anywhere. Yeah, I would think the same. Probably the only good thing about those kind of schools is the network that you get. Like in America, that's a thing. In Europe, I'm not on the team of the rich kids, so I don't know. But I would believe that there has to be some good networking that you can do. Then again, a friend of mine had a girl who started to work at NordVPN in Latvia, I believe it is. Whatever, one of those three uh, very close countries that are over Belarusia. And then, like, she made a 5 month trial period and then worked on that. So I think occasions from university are always a thing. I don't know if it's the same for more elite roles, whatever those may be. For my field, Germany seems to be a good place to be in. Actually, if I hadn't a girlfriend, I would have enjoyed a lot to get some to go to Germany, or even like not specifically Germany. Sure, it's nice. More like venture outside of Italy. Love the country. Hates the fact that I'm not that the job market is low. There's not a lot of money in it. Well, I think that that might be the case for everyone at this moment. Maybe there are some people that are a little bit more lucky, but for the most part, at the moment is not the greatest. I'm thinking about applying for masters, but to Berlin, but I know shit on German, so it wouldn't really work out. Yeah, a friend of mine is in at Heidelberg, whatever. It's some country in it's some city in Germany, and he gets by with English just because he's doing a doctorate. So most of the people in his course are non-German, but he said that on the basis, if you want to actually integrate with people, you have to get to German. And I don't know. It sounds like intuitively it would be. I used to think that it has to be something close to English, but it seems that they are very similar to like Poland versus Russian, where yes, the language has share some roots, but it's not the same thing. So it would take a long time to know it. You could be advantage if you're like have a Latin original language, because it's a bit a mixture from how the Latin works from with how the English works. So it's a Germanic Latin language. Might take a lot of time. It's kind of similar to English, but only to the degree that it's confused as hell. Yeah, but it has like my GF, she studied Latin, and it has the same way in which you would compose words in Latin. I have never touched it. I hopefully never will, because I'm bad at every language except English. I can speak it very well because I haven't gotten used to it. But Italian is just a hard language, so I never really mastered anything of it. Yeah, because I was transferred here at around 11 years old, so I haven't grown up on Italian. It's never going to be the same as people who are actually grown up. Nor did I had some passion on it, so I wasn't much of a writer. Right now, I'm trying only to get the comic book going. So I actually swapped to English. Thinking of German in grade school, but then I forgot everything. Same with me with French. I had like 3 years of French, I think, and well, we kept switching up professors every year, so it's not that's not going to help a lot. Even without that, there's a lot of rules. Like at least English is hard to pronounce, but hard to pronounce, hard to write, but the grammar is easy. French is horrifying because, and I guess German as well, because it's hard to read, hard to write, and has a hard grammar. Like the worst out of these languages that I know or I used to know is Russian. Russian goes up there with Germany. It's very hard to read, write, understand. It has basically the worst of every word possible and a different alphabet. So anyone who comes from Latin is going to get so confused because like the H is an N, the P is an R. There are there's a capital R who's inverted, who can mean they or can mean other things. Okay, the hand is blocked out. My first language is Czech, so I kind of had my own share of difficulty in grammars. Oh yes, I believe that. But nice language, nice country. I did a holiday in Prague. That was amazing. Great beer, beautiful city. Even though it's big, it doesn't feel as big. Yeah, the beer is great. Actually, I've come to. I tried to find in Italy, but they always sold the bottled one, and the bottled one doesn't taste as good as the as the one that you get from the bar. Thankfully, I have one bar in center that I saw the big Pilsner. Don't know what you say where you craft the beer. Yeah, but bottle that doesn't taste good. I don't know. It's a big difference. It's the original. I hope. You never know. But one dude have it crafted and it's great. Every time that I can get a little bit of it, even though here is like $10 a liter, when I believe in the worst case you have like $5 a liter. Speaking of euros, yours is way less expensive. It was actually to me hilarious that you guys have a big can't have the word, that big cars that you bring the beer from the bars as if it was like milk or something. It was hilarious. I never imagined. Like in Italy, there like we drink mostly wine, so you would have some winery and stuff like that in a bar, but usually the beers comes in something like this, in like 25 to 50 liters of craft. So you don't get the, I don't know, 1,000 liters. Like some bars I saw in Czech has some incredible stuff. Have the highest consumption of beer per person in the world. Yeah, I've seen what was this? The museum. There's the beer museum. Great experience. It happened a funny thing there because I was with, I was with two of my friends, and we went to the museum, made the little trip that they get you, and then they let you drink 3 beers. At the last step, when you go underneath, we drank the last beer, and then we got in a high C argument. So some people passed by, some girls, and was like, "Hey, do you want to keep these checks? We're done with beer. Like, let it go." So we drank like 6 beers, and we were arguing a lot. Everyone was looking at us. I felt like the most Italian there at the moment. Because if you have heard of Italians, you would see that they are used to be very loud. Now, granted, that is mostly true. Is the Mamma Mia? Yes, yes, we were there, being crazy with no reason. Carbonara, yes. Now I'm on in the region of lasagna. Carbonara you would see in Rome. It's not a difficult dish to do, but if you have to eat, always, if you ever come to Italy, always select the most local and regional shit, because otherwise, if you take a carbonara Modena, it'll be fine. Now, dude, you are great. Also, lasagna, carbonara is easier to make, but lasagna is just so good. You can also usually make like a kilogram of ragu, and you let it in the fridge for a couple of days, and you can freeze it to eat pasta during the day, the week. That's just the life. My mom just made some. Takes little time. Made a few times, definitely worth the work. Oh yes, oh yes. Plus, besides the first initial stuff, the long part is to make it mix. So one thing I used to do is when I played video games, I would start a ragu. So that 20 minutes when you chop everything up, put it in. And then afterwards, I'm just gonna put a timer of 20 minutes. Every 20 minutes, pause the game, give a good mix, come back to the game. Couple hours, like I usually cook it for around 1 hour and 50 or 1 hour and 30. Not the original recipe asks for like insane amount of time. I usually don't do that. I don't think it's hard to make, but just make a shit of time. Yeah. Since I started to work, it's become harder to do a lot of cooking. I really enjoy it. It is relaxing. Like before drawing, cooking was my, say, more crafty side. I've never been into art that much. But since I started working on a comic book, I was like, I have to start learn how to draw. And by the time I switched now. The only thing that I cook a lot of, I've started getting back into bread. like bread, made homemade bread. It's great. Everything else, I try to do some plates that, unless it's a weekend, I usually grab something as fast as possible or medium fast, not anything that takes more than an hour. Because otherwise, it's just, oh yeah, I did a few times as well. No, bread is great. Bread is great. I wanted to start to do the sourdough. Yeah, the sourdough, but keeps putting it off. I think when October is done, I'll have a little bit more time, maybe, if I'm not extra working on the on my. I'm not great at making bread, but it's still better than from supermarket. Miles, and also you get a lot of a big not a discount, but it's a lot cheaper. So it tastes better. It is cheaper, and that's it. Profit takes a little bit of time. It's more like annoying time because what it would take. I don't know. I usually let it rest for like 16 hours and then 1 hour in. Thank you for the follow, man. That's the thing about sourdough. I probably wouldn't be able to keep it up live. Yeah, I see a lot of people that say once a week is fine, and once a week is probably manageable. That's probably the only way that you go. But I have the same feeling of you. If I try to not commit to stuff that I haven't done for like a long time, no, it's very easy to overcommit. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna start sourdough, and then you do bread twice. You start the sourdough and you let it die. Not the not the best idea. Or I don't want to get used to starting shit halfway through. So it's more okay. The disgust is coming up. It's probably try to always let it rest a little bit and then work it out. So that at least it's I thought about it a little bit, and then if I do it, it usually gets into my system. That worked with gym, work with running, try to make it as effortless as possible. And now it's working with drawing. Since the Inktober, I've been drawing every day, and it has been great. It has been very stressful, physically speaking. I never understood why mangaka dropped like flies, but now I get it. Like if you were to after 6 hours, it was hard. I think if you have to draw like 14 hours a day, Brian, that goes from some big respect. So is there any way that I can make this chin look like the point that I'm trying to be is that this chin to make it look a little more natural? I struggled for a long time with the concept of drawing just because I got in my way. Like it was a funny thing that happened. So this project to making a comic book, not this specific one, but I have a project to make a comic book, happened started like 6 years ago. So I enrolled in some. Actually, enrolled is the incorrect word. But I took a look at Drawbox, started to take a look, and got into writing. Now, since nobody can really specifically get what I'm writing, because nobody reads scripts, don't know if in arts you because a friend of mine she's doing arts and they also do a little bit of storytelling. But in my case, really nobody would actually read my scripts because I don't have that many writers friends, and the writers friends that I have are all about books rather than uh, comic books or scripts for movies or stuff like that. I actually just freestyled it little by little, and that worked out great. Now writing is second hand. I just don't have the time. You do the illustrations in high school as well, but I'm more of a pen and paper person. Oh yeah, pen and paper feels better. I'm gonna be honest. Like the tablet thing, just it makes things faster, so that's probably the biggest one. But pen and paper, just magic. Just bought like a brush pen. Way better experience. Just doesn't feel the same. Like the tablet, this one feels good because it's not like it gets a little paper. I've been really enjoying the Pilot pens lately. I don't know, you know. Nope, haven't seen them. I took the recently bought the Fuse one. So like a Fuse, it's a brush pen, pretty much they're erasable pens. Ooh, that sounds great. You, my friend, are making me want to spend even more money on supplies that I use only for fun. Like the best one that I spend is I wanted to make more comic books on freestyling kind of way. So I bought like a sketch pad that you can flip, have thick sheets. So when I ink it, it doesn't spill too much. Doesn't spill on the next page unless you keep it on the light. And that's been a delight to work on because I could just sketch comic books and have it read like a comic. Well, because I had a collab with One Piece, but then I really started to like it. What do you mean you had a collab with One Piece? You drew something for Oda, or there was an event on One Piece? Because if you drew something for Oda, that's very cool. Not the pen brand. Oh, okay. Like a pen brand thing makes sense. I dropped One Piece a long time ago. I used to follow it. Honestly, can't even remember from when. I think I got to like second part. But with Luffy, Sanji, and Chopper. Oh, that's nice. I really like the expressiveness of One Piece, but I'm not a big guy on lore, so I actually dropped it a long time ago. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice series, but man oh man, I'm not into politics in real life. I'm even less into fake politics. I've been up to date for over 5 years. Now that's commitment. We have a friend of ours who's like just like you. He's really into One Piece. Gotta respect that. I used to be like that for what's it called, for Attack on Titan, and now the two series that makes me more wanna read the best ones in this current moment for me are Chainsaw Man and Blue Lock. Like those are the things that I always up for. This is the one that I follow religiously. Everything else is kinda there. Like, I don't know if you're big on Webtoon, but on Webtoon, I think I stopped Attack on Titan Season 2 Part 2. Damn. You just finished before the gold. Now, the ending, it's a doozy. It's very dividing. I know the reviews are great. Personally, I didn't like it. I really did not. Yeah, Webtoons, man, are just better. I mean, now Webtoons lose a lot of the charm that manga has because the paneling is a big part, but it's just the commodity is amazing. Plus, some work is just pure art. I don't know if you touch the distant sky is one that comes to mind. The retreats, like, there's a lot of good stuff. I personally think the webtoon format is more interesting. I like the I like the vertical playing. So there's a lot of cool ideas in the vertical sense. But personally, I think it loses a little bit of cinematic, but it is its approach. Have you read The Greatest Estate Developer? Nope. But let me add it to my list. I'm gonna share you what I usually read. if I'm logged in. I think I am. I'm up for it, especially if it's like, and right now I've chilled down. I've toned down the ones that I read just because I don't know you, but at some point I was like, I don't know, 5, 6 series deep, and I couldn't keep up with any of them because it's like some days, some Thursdays, you wake up, there are 5 new updates, and you're scrambling to reading all of them. And I was like, chill, just keep up with the ones that you like and the ones that are fine. Gonna catch up little by little. Okay, I don't even remember what I logged in with. That might be a problem. I usually have a spam email in which I log in. So hopefully it's that. I'm trying to read the finished ones lately. Yeah, yeah, that's probably the easier way because otherwise, I don't know, following too much stuff it gets very annoying. Plus, some comic books tend to be very bad for. Okay, no, I don't remember how I've logged. Some comic books are tend to be very bad in terms of having it the story flow one chapter at a time. Sorry about that. I'm gonna grab the webtoons from here, because otherwise I will forget. It gets very frustrating for no reason. While if you have the story complete, at least I can get some good pace. Like you usually do a lot of chapter, like 10 chapters at a time, but it flows better. So, like it was greatest estate developer. Ooh, dude, I've seen the memes. I've seen a lot of the memes. Yes, I know what it is. I haven't read it actually. You knew it was on Webtoon. As my recommendation, that if you want the finished one, Distant Sky. Distant Sky is like a piece of art. While the ones that I really follow or deal is one dude. I don't know how he gets it done because the art is insane. And Jungle Juice. Also, fun fact: Distant Sky and Jungle Juice are from the same cinematic, or I should say, comic book universe. They did this end game kind of project with 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 the Webtoon platform. It was, I don't remember what the platform was called, and now I'm gonna say they are not tying it together very well. They got Boichi from Doctor Stone to draw it, so the art looks crazy, but the story, man, is balls. Like some stories are amazing. Some stories, most of them, just a lot of confusion, and you can't quite understand what the fuck is going on. But I appreciate the idea of making a cinematic or a universe from the comic books. I don't know how. I haven't heard a lot of people do that. Personally, I don't know. I used to read a lot of manga who are not about, like, there aren't many people who do cinematic universes or stuff like that. I have to think about how do I render speed at this moment. This looks like shit. You prefer some lighter story, but if you want to try something heavy, I recommend Bastard and Pigpen. Read it. Everything from that guy. It's called Karnam B, I think. Karnam Bai. Don't know how it's pronounced. I've read Bastard Pigpen. The other two were Sweet Home and I have it. The shotgun story. And there's one more. Great stuff. Great stuff. That dude knows how to write. He's my man. No, because I think the Koreans are very good at writing. Like Scratch Squid Games, I'm not that interested in that series, but in general, if you see some movies, like the best example would definitely be um, I don't remember the name, but the one from Parasite. They're very visual, so shit looks Usually very intense. Now they have also telenovelas, but whatever. I'm not watching. Personally, I don't do real life history or real life stories because I always find that real life drama is always there. So I don't want to get more of it. If there's drama in the life, so I'm fine with it being in the life. When I watch movie or something, I want to see mostly power systems. Like I confess to my Jeff that I don't really write stories. I just want to write power systems and some story behind it. That's about how I perceive it. Have you seen a movie character from 2021? It's real life, but it's really cool. A movie character. Haven't heard of it. Like the last best thing I've saw from. Okay, so character. Prominent Keiko. Ooh. Gonna save it up for to watch with my GF. Real life, I'm fine with watching it with her. Like we've started so a little rewatch of what's it called? Walter Mitty. No, it's called Character. Yeah, Japanese. Also good stuff. Great horror. I just got off the train. Some dude explained to me, or some YouTuber explained the ring in its entirety, and I was like, dude, there's a lot of shit in the ring that I didn't knew it was. So yeah, in my usually I don't do, but there are some films like Walter Mitty, who was great, or can't quite remember the one movie without music, No Country for Old Men. That's like a great movie, very intense. I think if you execute it great, I just watched Walter Mitty this weekend. Yeah, we started it. We like went out of time, so we just started it. But Walter Mitty, I remember it very fondly. I watched it the day it dropped in Italy, so probably like 2 months from when it started. And yeah, it's just it's just a mood movie. Also very indicative as of how I'm feeling now. I feel a lot like Walter in this moment, adventuring in drawing and writing comic books fully and not keeping it back. Have you seen Truman Show? Yes, I have. Amazing. And from Jim, I've just recently watched if the movie if like they where they forget everything. The fuck it's called? I just watched it. Jim Carrey, because the Italian titles are, I don't know if you in SEC translate titles, but in Italy they do, and it always gets confusing. Sometimes it's just wait. Okay, Eternal Sunshine, dude. Eternal Sunshine is just hard, hard stuff. It's so fucking random. I know, like same thing like with this. I think the Spanish do the same thing, and sometimes you were like, bro, stop, don't translate it. Why the fuck haven't seen that? If you want to cry and have existential crisis, take a look at it. If you don't feel like that feeling, keep it for a time when you're in the mood for that. Personally, it was like devastating by the end of it. No, dude, that was like an experience. Amazing movie. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes I don't watch movies like even Breaking Bad. I put it in pause because it was way too close to my life at the moment. So I had so Fight Club is a classic. Fight Club is amazing. Shame I've only watched it once. Same with Memento. I should definitely watch Memento more. I It never happens. It's very rare to me to get into rewatches, but little by little I should because a lot of movies I watched like 5 6 years ago. It's very hard. So hey, Kursi Creation, welcome. This time I actually managed to change the title, so we are day 18 of the Inktober, talking about movies. Uh, I'm doing day 20. Let's go. Do you do it also on stream or on your free time. We're talking about movies, sharing our cinephile, yeah, our taste in movies and comic books. Okay, the scene is looking great. Maybe I should look at the. Maybe I should look at the outside. So the our taste in movies. Talking about Memento. Naori Urasawa. You know the name tells me something, but I haven't quite doesn't reminiscent me to anything. It's like an actress or a director. I usually look in movies for how the directors. That's the ones that I take, or the writers. Naori Urasawa. Let me move a searching because I have the references on the left, so I should probably keep the searches on the right or vice versa. Naori Urasawa. Ooh, it's the dude from 20th century. That's I know that comic book is crazy. Should get around to do it. At the moment, I've started collecting. Let me grab it a second. So I haven't actually never collected comic books, but since I'm not into the manga and anime, sadly, we're talking also about movies. So if you're into that, I don't know, you're more like an illustrator type, like more illustration. So this are a couple of friends gave me Fire Punch, the 4 collection. That was my first collection. Is from the guy from Chainsaw Man. Craziest story ever. Very fun, but doesn't make much of sense. A friend of mine came from Portugal and gave me Attack on Titas. Very funny because Titas is very close to tits, so that's the joke. And got into Chainsaw Man. Actually, Chainsaw Man is borrowed. Got into Dr. Stone. Attack on Tits. Yes, it's Attack on Tits. And the actual OG Tits, man, Boichi has just such a good art. Even if you don't like comic books, take a look at the panels, the covers of Dr. Stone. This is just something amazing. But yeah, Naori, I know him by his work because I've seen the dude with the pinky on the face. I have to get into that. Just I never get really to the point in which I actually should have probably, but at some point I wanted to do a media tracker. Like there's this open source. I have some volume for Gantz. Dude, Gantz. Yep. There is a lot more sex and violence that I remember. So I was like, damn, I didn't remember there would be so much rape in this in this comic book. But still enjoyed it. Like the story is very solid, but you're like, damn, I didn't remember it started so rapey. What the fuck? Yeah, a lot of titties. Same with Soul Eater. I grabbed like the first cover of Soul Eater and was like, hey, there's a lot more tits and pants. Have you seen Inuyashi? Nope. So I wanted to. Oh yes, there's the following. The 2 guys from the aliens. Same auto from Gods. Yep. Never haven't seen it, but because it's just simply I always try to remember to see something. Then at the end of the day, I don't because maybe a couple of days passes and I forget. So there's this open source program that allows you to track your media. It will tell you what to watch and what have you watched and so on and so forth. But my server right now, oh, it's pretty short. That's great. Love short ones. But my server right now doesn't hold it because it's written in Python, so it requires like 1 GB of memory as per default. So I haven't really gotten into making it work because I need a system that's very easy and accessible to keep up with what I'm watching. Because at the moment it's like, oh yes, I want to watch this. I forget what I want to watch. Then some time passes, and no, I don't know. It's maybe 13 in the 13 o'clock. It's like, hey, let's watch a comic. Let's watch anything. I don't remember what to watch. I don't know, the most classic stories. Maybe I should try like something simple like Obsidian. Really haven't been able. I'm not a good dude into Samurai Champloo was also very good. That one is a new one for me. And same goes for movies. Haven't been back to books like a lot. Kind of miss the OG anime. Ooh, style looks great. It's also on Prime with one season. I can do one season. Can probably do like in an autistic weekend. Like the second problem with I don't keep track, but I also over obsess. I've watched Wednesday and finished it in like 1 week. It's pretty bad. Not gonna lie, kind of bad, but very fun. There's something about Wednesday and the way in which it's bad that is very hilarious. I can understand the appeal to some people. It's like a bit of a soap opera with an Adams Family spin on it. So I think that's the main appeal. Holy shit, I made every line so thick. I think that's the main appeal of that. Have you seen Iron Sky? Nope. Don't know what that is. You watch a lot more stuff than I do. But there's some. Wait. Is The Descendants of the Nazis. So there's a good Nazi show. Because I tried The Man in High Castle, quit it by episode 5, I think. They completely butchered the best concept that you can probably hate. I don't know how you can butcher that. Very funny. Let's go. Should probably do a little more funny. It's more conspiracy theory parody. Oh yes, I love some to make fun for someone, especially if it's conspiracy theories. Because a lot of Amazon series, I feel like they usually start very well, but gas out very fast. Same, well, started with Men in High Castle. Then there was what's them called the two angels ones, Good Omens. Like they usually start amazing, great concept, gas out very quickly. Let me get my little blanket. It's getting very cold. Usually keep two blankets around because my house like never gets over 20. Kurtzi, do you have it posted anywhere? Your stuff? I'm curious. I have most of mine on Spotify. I have most of mine on Instagram. Or actually, there's a big file. So there's a good one from yesterday. My girlfriend. One I'm very proud of. And there's the meme from the JoJo from day 16. Ooh, let's go. If you want to drop it up, I'm gonna take a look. So last 3 days were the best ones, especially comparing to like the first, which I didn't even disable the ink layer, and the 10 with the chopped perspective. This one is a good one. Oh, guys, if you want to drop something yet, I'm gonna check you out and follow. I always love other indie artists. It feels good to follow people on the same page. If you have, especially if you have an art account, because I understand that the private ones don't want to dox yourself. Not, I'm chill with that. Thanks, man. Gonna drop a follow because I think I'm already logged in. I usually drop stuff from the. I usually drop stuff from the straight from the PC. Like the whole streaming is still very chill to myself. I've never gotten very far, so see a lot of people the have discords and shit. I was like, oh yeah, you're supposed to have discord and stuff. Really fell in love with the aspect. Like right now, I think that Twitch is the one that is better at being a social platform than most. Like having to chill with someone that I don't know is it's really fun, but chat roulette and stuff like that never really works. Have to do. I can send you the drawing and DMs later if you want. Be my guest. I'd love to. Especially because now you are definitely better than me. But still, when I see some work from uh, more starting artist, it's a little bit less depressing than seeing someone like Mark Brunet, who's like who's way too good at his job. So it gets more self-conscious. I think Twitch is great for VT people. Yeah, Twitch is amazing for that. There's some couple of viewers that come back from time to time, and it flows better. I think because we're both here for doing something that we like. Maybe you are here to chill and have a talk, and I like to yap, so it works out very well. Even better because I have lately have a little bit of discussion with my friends. Turns out I yap too much, and also I'm very preachy on how I yap. So I got okay, intervention would be like a big word, but more like people complained a little bit of that. So I changed my attitude. Things going great, but I miss the yapping, you know. I'm very excited about stuff. It's not I sound preachy, but it's more because yo, I'm excited. I like to do a lot of stuff. I'm a nerds of nerds, no, you know, the not the nerd comic book nerd, sure. Video games nerd used to be, but more about I nerd out about what I'm interested in the moment. Hence, you see that I do drawing, there's the writing, running, gym. Generally speaking, I like to nerd out a lot about a lot stuff, and it feels bad because most of my friends are not on the same page as me. Also, not even my girlfriend. So Twitch is a great place in which I can yap. And if someone doesn't like it, they can leave or they can come here. Yeah, it's hard to find someone who's has a lot of passion. One question that when I used to date, I've known to yap about One Piece too. I have to put you into contact. Unfortunately, he doesn't stream. He streams in Italian, but there's a friend of mine that I can put you in contact. That dude will yap about One Piece all day, every day. I have you, I have you here. So if so, the occasion lands, the dude will yap about One Piece all day, no problems. I have personally never stopped enjoying it at some point, but I can see the appeal. I think there's a little bit so much lines, so regular. Would be great. There's so much happening right now. Oh yeah, he's very much invested. I heard what he told me to, but I didn't quite understood because I think I've stopped around. Dude, I can't even remember. I sure I saw Doflamingo. Yeah, I've stopped around Kaido. So I'm behind the big stuff. But yeah, that's one of the things that's how life goes from time to time. So I don't fret about it. Like, one thing about discussing this stuff with my friends is they become a big deal, and I don't want them to be a big deal. Like this discussion went from for it became very heavy very quickly. I was like, I understand. Thank you for the review, but can we stop talking about it? Like, we had the whole emotional thing. Can we go back to chill and forget about that? That's why I usually avoid it. Okay, there is a little bit of avoidance in there, like avoiding in general to talk to people to get vulnerable. Not gonna lie, but at some point I'm like, dude, can we get it over with? I don't I don't want to overblow this stuff. Thankfully, the good ones in small doses I can yap. I try to yap in small doses. Forgo computer science because nobody cares about that. People care a little bit about my drawings, so that's I'm happy about. That's a good thing. That's a good place. Like out of everything that I choose, art is something that people usually enjoy a lot. So sharing art and people will usually be very content with that. So that's great. Used to get very far away from people for a long time, but I'm glad I become more neutral about that. There's like I don't know. I think when based on your character, when you get younger, it's very easy to look angry at people or to be like, yeah, nobody gets me. It's like, yeah, but you don't get other people at the same time. That's how life goes. I become more accepting and empathic as I grew, which most seem under the impression that happens. I was always told that it would happen the opposite. You get more impatient. Well, that yes, but you get more desensitized. I don't tell you why, but I would say that nobody gets more like nobody gets the One Piece. You're starting little by little to condition me to get back into One Piece. Maybe. If I can get my list working, maybe could get into it. Little by little, you are actually conditioning me. Oh yeah, people are complicated. I don't know. Personally, I'm not like on a big, I'm not very emotional as a person. So when there's too much conflict, it's harder to me to get into it. Because dude, I get it, I understand it, but man, just not something that I do often. So I think that the things that you do usually are the ones that you get good at, and I'm very bad at conflict. So try to chill it out as much as possible. And yup, on stream, this is my healing time. Like my day job is at 9. So before 9, I'm over here. Try to do cool stuff. Is the like the pre-unwind. Because the post-unwind for me is gym and running. Running is the best one by far. Gym is nice as well. The same way that you wish for One Piece, the one that I wish to yap more about is cinema in general. Especially if there are people who are interested into the process. Like when there's a big document about Lost, who goes into what was the experience of working on Lost. So I started to be a lot more interested in what really goes behind the scenes of doing something. It really gets an extra level appreciation if you can understand when you understand really what's going on, or with most of the shows. Because it's usually way more complicated than from the outside. From the outside, you'll be like, hey, they just have to write. Why they can't write a good show? Send you the drawings. Thanks, man. Gonna check them out later. I guess it's the crazy process behind making a movie. Yeah, it's insane. I think that I hope that Lost isn't the average, but in Lost they basically wrote the first episode as actors started to act. So they had like half a script and they made it work. So there was the manager who would walk in and ask questions since they haven't had they had like pieces of the plot. So the manager will come and ask questions, and these questions have to be answered by someone up until he walked in and get a good answer, an answer that he liked. And when he liked this answer, it was implemented. So that's like crazy work. You'd think, bro, you have to be organized to do something like that. Nope. They were just up in the air and doing shit like that. And then I can understand why somebody would be like the show will turn out as. Of course it turns out as, brother, how can you write? And that's maybe not that extreme, but I think most show have a lot going on the outside that you can get on the inside. I think that that's why manga usually have most of a cohesive story because the process is slimmer. Like there's the mangaka and there's the I think that there's the mangaka, the editor, and the what's them called? The assistants. So having the process be a lot slimmer, it definitely will help. Unlike Hollywood, which have all of these layers of people who meddle on your work and don't let the writers write. I'm gonna say I'm nailing this bald guy. Now proportions are way the fuck off. A lot more manga. They're basically from two different shows, but that's fine. After this piece, which is my longest one, took me I think 8 hours. Somewhere from 6 from 8. The crown is the one that took the most. But I think it has a cool look. And also the face I tried to nail the most. So doing something more relaxing is actually great. Also talking about movies pump me up always. Or shows. I think my longest it took about 12 hours. Dude, 12. That's so much time. That's so much time. Especially if I think the colors gets you like colors get me work out a lot. I have like a terrible sense of colors. Hopefully I will get better with time. But as it stands now, my sense of color is just terrible. Guess I'm not into it, so that's the part that. Ooh, crazy eye looks great here. Amazing. But mostly because it's one of the few things I did in Photoshop, so I spent half the time learning what to do. Makes sense. Makes sense. Now this was 6 process only because I'm not. I still work out little by little, just to work out something in drawings that I can't draw. So I have to work a lot of the details of how I want to represent it. When I'm confused, I try to take a pictures, and when I'm confused also with the pictures, I try to work on see what others artists do and try to imitate. Like my biggest knowledge at the moment is Drawbox. So there isn't. The expression is hilarious. My biggest knowledge at the moment is Drawbox. Haven't finished the course, so I'm more like a vibing kind of artist. And ironically, since I started vibing, my actual skills has improved by a lot. There's a lot of unknowns that got better since I got into drawing for the pleasure of it. Oh yeah, I haven't finished the story from before, but basically what happened is that I started to write the comic book, the big one that I'm writing, and my GF helped me a lot, but then she basically quit because she wasn't really liking my approach. I sticked for it for like a couple of years, and then after 2 years, I think she joined back because I got very orderly and the story started to take a bit of a shape. So she was right back on track. Unfortunately, drawing never really took off because I think I learned most of the things about digital art on YouTube. Yeah, same. Like digital art is specific, that has a lot to do with the tools and how they're gonna be used. So I think YouTube is a lot of a necessity. But once you get going with most of the basics, you can go very far. Dropbox is more about spatial reasoning as a course. I don't know about like you having the college experience. How do you feel about courses and stuff like that? Because at the moment, I want to buy mostly books. I know that a staple is how to draw, which I don't know if even is in Europe. Like in Italy, I can get my hands onto it because courses feel like they don't do much. I think most of the time is in these moments when you draw and you try to actually work out your doubts. Oh, this looks terrible. So this looks absolutely as. How about if I just a little bit less as? My uni experience more like self-study plus consultations. Okay, makes sense. And that's the big part, right? Because the hard stuff is auto correcting yourself. Usually, what self studies, the bigger problem you don't have somebody who will actually take a look at your stuff. Like right now, I have a friend where I can send her a little bit and ask for opinions, but I don't have some professional who'd be like, "Yep, this is where you're wrong. This is how you fix it." That will definitely help out a lot. Well, actually, in less than an hour, and I've got to get ready, so I need to go. Well, Proki, thank you for dropping. It has been great. Whenever you feel like, I usually stream around this hour, so like 6 to 8 Rome time. If I ever see you back, it will be my pleasure to yap about anything you want. Have a nice day. See ya, see ya. Let's put a shirt on. Okay, the shoulders should be probably bigger. I think I know now why it looks good. It's like looks more like a child. Like it looks convincing, but I didn't want to make a teenager. It just happened to get to be a teenager. Well, that's bizarre. Yeah, so this is when Twitch is at its best. Having people interact is just so fun. I'm a little bit loving the idea to drop on other streams. Because it feels good to be on the end of to be on the end. It is fun to be on the end of the streamer, but it's also fun to check out my other fellows, especially if they are artists and doing even similar things. I'm gonna try to find most of. I'm gonna try to find most of them as comic book artists, so I can get the feel to it. At the same time, there's also sharing of audience, like in a good sense. Okay, you would always think as I always enjoy if people want to enjoy the same things as I do. So generally speaking, if I can find someone who's making comic books that are of my taste, that's going to be positive for everybody. So he's looking good. Now I have to render speed. Ah, I'm scared to search speed drawing, please. Speed drawing. I don't know how to render it. I don't have like going to be a jello kind. I can do it like water or watermark. It's going to be more speedy in the beginning and then get less of it. So today is a lot more relaxing than yesterday. That's a good idea. I don't want to overextend. So getting into a relaxing pace is gonna help me recharge for tomorrow or for a day that I feel more inclined. The days that I feel more inclined into drawing. Looks like crap. Okay, I want the speed lines and then the sweaty. So this one, and then how about that we this is the place like yeah, no? Looks like balls. Let's add some details. Some reflections. Taking out some parts. Okay, this starts to look a little better. Maybe. Doesn't quite look like a spitting stuff. Because I think it's not wobbly enough. Like the artwork here is not wobbly enough. Horrible. Horrible. think you can understand it from the context, I hope. If not, that's fine. Let's merge with below. Maybe get a tiny bit more details here and there. Like this is going to be like a big fold. Okay. Sick. Works fine for me. Gotta live life sometimes. Okay then, this is how today is. Can be better, can be worse. I can live with this drawing. I was able to convey what I wanted to convey as a message. So that works for me. It is about more. It is relaxing. I would, as I take a mental break, I'm gonna drop the drawings and move to the next one. At least to get the idea of. I don't think I'm able to sketch everything out. And I'm gonna also heat up some water to get more tea. And that should work out pretty nicely. So send it to my friends and send it to my, what is this? My Instagram. If Instagram is so inclined as today to work it out. Yeah, hands are hard to draw. I think that this is convincing enough. Like not the most convincing, but gets the job done. Can I say not the best water that I've ever worked on. It's a little bit difficult to get water to behave. I haven't at all. It's a tiny bit sad. I should work more water in my work so I can get something convincing by the end of the session, you know, by the end of the Inktober, because I feel like I understand it, but I don't understand. I feel like I should be understanding, but I'm not understanding. Like it looks like something that I know. It ends up behaving as something as I don't. Bizarre. Definitely bizarre. So day 19 would be Arctic. I can change the title and work on my Arctic day. Now, as far as Arctic goes, I know what I want to do. Problem is, I wish I should work out more shit into it, or rather more people and humanoid ones. Let's see if I can put it on display in some way, because I want to do a penguin, I want to do a bear, and I want also a person. And I need to blow my nose. Sorry for a second. Okay, 35 more to go. In 35, I can definitely 100% do at least the sketch. At least I can pick it up. Let's get the reference together. Okay, I forget that I have 3 screens, but there's not 3 screens around, so that's how life would be. Okay, so we want a polar bear. Polar bear adds up. There's this picture that I remember of a polar bear. This one. Polar bears are very hilarious from far away. Okay, no, this is the pose that I need. So polar bears, gun. Slap it over here. This is the everything they took for this project. Polar bears, good shit. Penguin. Penguin. Oh my god, they're so cute. We can get a penguin. I was thinking I would like a walking penguin from the light. I should stop saying penguin because penguin because I would get I will start using it as the normal word, which it isn't. The normal pronunciation. Just every time that I say penguins, I think about the documentary with Benedict Cumberbatch. So it always is hilarious. I tell you what, I'm gonna take this fat penguin. Maybe one with where I can see the eyes, but I can. So like I'm gonna put them accurately. So there's one, there's two. I have to flip him. And Arctic Man, the Arctic Explorers. Yep, this is what I wanted to take a look at. Great, this is hilarious. Now we have the reference. Let's at very least frame it, and then we start to work on the polar bear because that's the funny one. Okay, so this is the scene. Plus 19. There you go. Now only 3 days behind. Unfortunately, I'm never gonna catch up. Even if I worked so much on it. I gave up on this from the beginning. It's okay. I can rest. It is very frustrating. I'm not happy about it. But every day I just work do it in a fashion of like, yeah, that's life. Deal with it. Okay, so I want in the foreground to take the bear. This is how the bear looks like. There's the penguin, which I want him to be scared, and a little bit behind. Can I even put an iceberg over there? Can't I? It'd be fun to have an iceberg. So a small little man here. Horizon. Iceberg. This is the frame. Let's work on the bear. Okay. So speaking of bears, now the head should look similar to the human one. I can put the head over here. Then there would be the. I think I wouldn't overthink the volumes over here. So here's the hip, and they connect in a very funny way. Like it is. Here's like a dump trunk, man. Maybe I. Doesn't feel like that. I think that I'm missing the shoulder. Let's put it like this. Work my way down. Work over the shoulder. Get into the head. He's going to have some sort of a mouth. Oh yeah, this looks good. And so leg one, it goes forward. Kind of. Do they have only one ligament here? I thought that they're more like dogs. Yeah, the volume speaks. Now leg two, so this is where we're gonna put the tail. We start the leg two work. Actually, it's even more funny if it's off the frame, I think. I think it's hilarious if it's because of the frame. Okay, my Clip Studio bugged. Did they do something? I think my Clip Studio shit itself. It doesn't anymore understand my pressure sensitivity. A good restart for me. Remember to keep a straight line. Yeah, but it may made it have some cinephile take a look at the stream, or someone very interested in movies and stuff. Would expect more people to be as interested as I am, but probably remember that a lot of people just don't care, but in a good way. There is a limited amount of care that one can have. So I understand that people will be like, yeah, I watched a movie. And they don't really think about how was it, or if it was well written. Like, that's more of my way of watching them. So it should be more understanding. Oh yeah, this is working out great. Let's put the ear, let's put the eye. Of course, going to be closer to the head. So I think we can drop the nose, then drop the mouth. Here's the ear. It's actually lower than the eye. Okay. And I think that this is the mouth. Starting to look like a bear. I think it does. And at some point there will be a hand, which would move around here. Dude, bears have like adorable hands. Very conflicted about bears because they look amazing, but they're scary. Scary as shit. In fact. Gotta say, my bears look better than my dogs. I'm not gonna lie. This is terrible because I don't have a bear in my comic book. I could put a bear in there. It's not out of the question, but a dog sounds more convincing in my current world. So either I'm rewriting this zone to include bears somehow, but then again, they're fast, but man, I would think that a bear has a lot of maintenance, both as in food, in the storage. Like it's not the same thing. Oh, let's sneak out. It's me and a dog or a wolf. No, it's me and a fucking bear. Not gonna happen. So let's put this little futsy over here. Now, penguins, compared to them, are quite simple. I would say that the penguin would be about his head, maybe a tiny bit more. Say that this is how big. This is how big. Okay, let's see. Penguin height. Up to 1 meter. Okay. Then how about bear height? 10 feet. Meters. In meters. 2.4. The fuck? It can be half a bear? Nah, not doing that. Artistically speaking, I would say that it's funny if they are about this size. So penguins look a lot to me like a can of Coke. They're very simple animals to draw, which is good. I'm loving simple. Oh yeah, now that I look at their pose, they're basically close. Huh. Never understood the bird identification of these little guys. But probably it's like an anatomical definition. Okay, so there's the separation from the black. Good. Head is quite big. Big man. Kind of grotesque beak, but Yeah, so the penguin is working quite nicely. Also the bear. Surprisingly, I would thought that the bear would look like shit. It reads very much like a bear. Insane. And there's my little human. It's gonna be funny in the distance. Now, humans recipes. How the fuck do you draw a human? In a way that makes sense. Graphics, since I'm going for the funsies here, I can just need only to sketch the proportions, right? Everything else is going to be conveyed by the, most of it is clothed, so it's not going to be like that hard to get it done. I'm going to try to detail a little bit the iceberg and texturize the snow. Snow, man, I haven't drawn snow. I don't need to draw snow in my comic, but yeah, that's good. Anyway, 2 hours of speaking and drawing, tiring. Not gonna lie, tiring. So let's say that I place the head. Then we can place what the body would look like. It's going to be the hips. And it's going to be the hands. Maybe a little wide, but looks like a human to me. Okay, let's dress this mannequin type. This mannequin looking ass. Cool. Yeah, clothes are big carries, man. Now, it's not like they won't look wonky with clothes on, but it will hide a little bit of the... You can easily make it look better than if they wasn't in clothes. Alrighty. Now, fit. How does one even begin to work on fit? Okay, I can always work one volume at a time. There's no reason to trip balls. And then there's the bandana. There's the eyeglasses. And there he is, sitting there majestically and waiting for nothing. Okay, finally. The last couple I need is going to be this iceberg. So I'm going to search it up and put on the iceberg. Then Then we can maybe try to work in some snow. Sorry, I have to answer a question. Message. Okay, so what's it called? Icebergs. Bring up some icebergs. Not the salad, but an actual iceberg. This looks good, but I think that that's like a picture. That's not a picture. I have disabled AI, so maybe it's a 3D model. But it looks like a nice. It looks convincing. Don't want to learn from the AI bullshit. Okay. There's this, there's this, there's this. This thing can be merged. And we can get our way into working the iceberg. Last 10 minutes and try to also work out a little snow. I'm interested in rendering snow. I think that the way that you would render an iceberg is not dissimilar in the way that you would render like a mountain. Intuitively, I would go this road. Then we can separate. We can separate like the darker side. This is the side where it goes into a little bit of a shade. So we can get on a more appropriate places. All right. So this is gonna shine and this is not gonna shine. Very quick indications. Gotta say, ice looks nice. Looks fun. You can do a lot of black and get some good reflections off. But yeah, that's fun. That's fun. If you could take so little snow. Need also snow reference. I'm really trying to stretch out the 2 hours, but I want to stop. I don't want to draw anymore. I'm very tired, but I want to stretch the 2 hours. It's like the thing, like keep it all going just a little more. You're gonna get there. But I'm already cooked. My neck is hurting because I think that my posture is always absolute trash. I should get my posture in check and see if I can get some good reference of snow. I want some snow tracks up close. In my idea, it looks like salt. These are way too much too close. Want something that's gonna resemble some snow marks. So let's maybe say snow marks. And take some snow marks for the foot. What the fuck? Snow marks. And take some snow marks for the foot of the. Okay, this is one. It's the texture that I need. It's going to be the foot of my bear. Gonna be a little bit more dynamic. And I think that the man has. Yeah, there's a good reference of the textures on a wider one. So let's put a little. Since he's moving, I would say there is maybe some scattering over here, just a tiny bit of snow building up. So it does feel a little more Arctic. Can also make some tracks over here. Those are good. You know? Just so the scene is a little bit more alive. And then on the side of everything else, I think the way in which they go is, well, that's the horizon, so whatever. But the way in which they will go will be like similar to this, right? I'm gonna spread out a little bit of, splurred out a little bit of texture. Should try to work like a one angle and see how that goes. It goes here. Let's. Don't know if that looks like snow. Can also take some reference. So like snow drawing. I don't see what people take out to make it look like snow. Because mostly you would leave it white, right? But and there's going to be a lot of reflection. If you don't have that, I thought that you would at least indicate the shape. It to be some kind of shape. Maybe the problem is that it's not rounded enough. Snow drawing. Let's say in ink. Because I think that ink is the one that makes you think the most. But yeah, we are avoiding the problem at this moment. It's all not taking snow. How about snowball? Maybe the snowball gets me farther. Okay, I see what I did here. I see where the confusion is. Yeah, there's not much going around. There's not much going around here, I think. I would guess. See that most of the problem is getting a void. Okay, this is an iceberg. No, it's not an iceberg. Okay, let's back it up. So the snow is usually more mellow than the way I put it. Yeah, there's like unevenness, but on the softer side. So it seems like I'm not softening it enough. But see, so it's half a way like a water, but you can go sharper with it. A very complex texture in real life. And when there's a lot of it, so he's creating it by contrast. I respect that. That's a lot of work. Let's not get into a lot. Let's space our next let's space our next big work to something else. Yeah, mostly it is about making it stand out. And very little about okay, this is the one where the form looks great. Yeah, so snow tends to be used like a rounder shape. Make it mellow. Can I get back to like Esk? Does X get me back to my to my starting point? So yeah, the last couple of minutes, I'm gonna take a look at who we can raid. And today it was a great idea. So same category. Now I don't started following a lot similar Osmone sites. Yeah, that's a good idea. Comic work. We go there. So I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging here. It's been a pleasure. Gonna go and network with some other artists. Just wait out the 2 minutes as I'm transitioning from the raid. I will see you tomorrow morning, same hour, same time. Gonna do a lot more Inktober since we are already basically there. Wait for it to go through. See you tomorrow.